The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Good evening. Welcome to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator. I'm Farhan, aka WDC. I want to thank you for listening in. As always, we have a very spectacular show for you, so we're glad that you're here tuning in. Make sure you go to our social media at Sports Collective Media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Gentlemen.
What's happening?
Gentlemen.
Why y'all looking at me?
Well, you always got something to say.
Okay, I knew this was going to be a problem.
No,
you know what the problem is? There's no more football, right?
What are you talking about?
There's no more football.
No. Hold up.
I watched the football game over the weekend.
Football is about to start.
There we go.
Football.
I was checking, man.
Y'all didn't
I was
check out
hitting
that
the
new
ESPN button.
Champions League tomorrow.
No, that new football league. You gotta check out the new football league.
Which one?
It's like that. It's called the AAF or something like that. It was on CBS. You don't see it? No.
I watched
It was
a little
football.
bit.
It was a little bit. Yeah, I saw some clips.
It,
You know, you seen that hit?
Yeah,
that hit. Yeah, they have this new football league that's out there. But
all right. So I was just saying, there's no more football.
I know, but going back to why I was looking at you, because I never get an intro off without you interrupting, so I was like,
that's perfect.
Let me just give you the plate now before I
Okay, well, I'm going to slide the plate back to you.
All right, so we good.
And I'm going to let you do your X and O's.
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Collective. It's your boy, or your gentleman, 00.
Why?
He messed up his own intro.
You can call yourself boy.
You can call yourself boy.
No.
It's all right.
We just had a whole discussion about that.
But
he messed up his own intro.
He messed it up himself.
You screwed that one up.
Shouts out, we got Big Al in the building. We got Mother Love. We got Aaron on the back end.
All the way from Florida.
Yes.
Florida.
So I'm going to pass it to
Luop. What's up?
What's up,
Guy Sportsman?
No fingerprints. No fingerprints. All right.
All right. So
I said Mother Love.
So he's right. There is no more football left, but we still have a lot of...
Hold on, man. How are you going to keep talking? He ain't introduced himself.
I thought we already passed it down.
You normally watching the show. Now, since you own the show...
Wow. No, I said wow. Just on the show?
Hey, I got to get him, right?
I know.
I got to get him, right?
It was a puppet thing.
Yeah, I got to get you back. You know how I go.
Tag you in. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Like that? Okay, is this the battle? Okay. That's at the end of the show. We do this battle. So I got Luop against him and his puppet.
So now
eyebrows and puppet. We gonna get.
we brought in Mother Fitness just for him. So
okay, all right, yeah.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Don't introduce yourself, man.
Oh man,
because it's just a puppet talking.
Wow.
It's your boy Luop. I'm here with my boy 00, my man's
Cali Sportsman. What's happening?
Just call me Eyebrows.
Oh, wow. I didn't want to say eyebrows over there again.
And we want to give a little shout out to Vashawn, and if y'all don't know, we adopted a kid in the neighborhood in his kindergarten year to become one of the next student athletes. And a lot of had to do with the fact that when he showed up, what did he have in his hand?
Some cleats.
Cleats. 2 pairs.
He thought, look, let's go play. Where we go play, ready, let's go. And so with that type of attitude as a kindergarten, I think it's us as a community to be able to kind of look for not a whole group of kids, but maybe we just start with one kid at a time. Yeah. And that's what that whole thing is about.
And he dubbed him Eyebrows.
Oh, yeah, he got on you for the eyebrows.
He going to shave these. But
what I liked about him, too, was the energy. A lot of times you see a lot of kids with that energy, and as they go through life, just life starts to kind of take that away. So with the right support system, keep this kid high energy, make sure he's, hitting.
You got to focus that energy somewhere.
I was thinking about that, right? Because they say we make our first decision about ourselves between 2 and 5. Mm-hmm. So he's probably already made that first one, and then now he's working on that second one.
See, the other thing is that, we'll bring that information to you down the road about him, but he has a story, and for this kid to be very polite, he's just a kid. He's like that, like a little boy, like a little girl like Pink, he's like a little boy just want to play football. Right. It's kind of cool to just see kids be kids, and if we can be that vessel to help him get a little further in life, that's what we want to do.
Be interesting.
Going back to old school values, it takes a village, right? It's
but sometimes it just take a person. That village thing sounds good, but then everybody don't be bought in.
Yeah, but we got a college preparatory program. I mean, so we got tools and resources that we get to see from ground zero, literally 6 years old, to help him develop himself into whatever,
Because as you know, working with your community program, it's all about information and awareness. And a lot of times the awareness piece is because they didn't get the information early enough.
Yeah. Right.
And then the information they have, is it proper? Is it correct?
Is it correct?
You know what I'm saying? So,
and with this kid being the first kid, it's like it's going to pave the way. And it's going to create like an infrastructure if we want to get more kids. We're going to start connecting with people. And then, like you said, when we start getting other kids, then we're like, all right, we already know all these people. Right now, we're figuring it out.
Once you get the resources, it's a wrap.
Exactly. Then it's just, like you said, you see the path and you just go out there and get more kids, right? Get more resources. But
we got to keep our pulse on the problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the problem is that, we just seen teachers go through strike, and we've seen that, there's not enough counselors in the schools to be able to facilitate the needs for these kids. We see that student athletes are not getting an opportunity. If 50 kids on a senior team in football high school. So what happens to kid number 27? What happens to kid number 38? Right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That could have a 3.0 or a 2.8, and just need that little extra something, or maybe they don't have the social economics in their family, you know what I'm saying, to be able to gather that information. So it's all these missing links. What we want to do, like Ferran said, is have the tools to be able to provide that. And just mind you, I was fortunate enough to have a kid that had a 4.6 GPA that was a Division I All-American kid, right? Yeah. So I had the recipe of 28 schools calling me, how to go about it, this is what you got to do, and this was back in 2000. Now we in 2018, I've given that same information to so many kids to help them.
Right.
So,
but we had a grown man over here, Buddha, who experienced the same thing in his environment.
And shout out to him because he was
player of the week,
player of the week.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Again, a couple of times since he been here.
And age is nothing but a number to him.
Shout out to Shireen, we love you, girl. I hope you had a really good Super Bowl party. Shout out to Mr. International. I know you kind of running around LA trying to figure it out. We got love for you. Always. Leon, I know you was in a little small accident, man. We got love for you too. So and Don, he running around here in every tournament possible.
Oh yeah, he's
doing his thing.
He's at 6:15 game tonight, so he was like, I'm not gonna be here.
So
this
we
week
just
and
shout
next
out
week.
Butch Dennis, another fitness person we know. Antoine.
Fredo from the Fredo show.
Abigail. We give her a shout out.
Yeah,
she
that's
just
right.
gave us a shout out. So,
happy belated birthday.
So we just kind of built
30.
a whole lot of folks.
Having some fun, man.
Having fun. Spending money, having fun. Spending money.
So you mentioned some football. Let's spend these last few minutes.
Oh
on
yeah,
some
this week, right? The
soccer.
Champions League is starting.
Yeah, it is. But I wanted to get into like a little basketball. Like I know it's but just that Anthony Davis saga. Like to me was just kind of like
What? Okay, let's touch on it.
just real quick. 'Cause it's crazy. We all saw the package that was put together, and we all saw the reports that the Lakers were damn near trading everything for this guy, and then the Pelicans don't even return the phone call. It's like
So hold up.
Like, we're just gonna blow up your team.
So
That's what the reports are. That's what the reports say.
This is a Fredo moment. I want you to reel back when I told you they're gonna have to get rid of the whole team to bring in
I watched
one
that
player.
clip the other day too.
Right? So the truth, and Lamar, that's to you, I Googled Mr. Cali Sportsman.
My thing is,
But he gave a bad sentiment to the rest of the team.
yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
can't- And then all the draft picks, like four, they wanted
Basketball
four.
players are spoiled.
So
They
does
know they
Magic
about to get-
apologize?
No, he went to Philadelphia. They had a little conference
They
call,
still lost.
and they just told him it's business. And who went to work? Guzman.
Kuzma.
The only one.
They upset. You know they hurt, right?
They basketball players.
You know they hurt,
But it's
right?
a
Especially
business.
Ingram.
They
You know they hurt, right?
Soft internally, man. All
Ingram
basketball
and
players is
Did you
soft
hear what
internally.
the Pacers were saying? Like right before the deadline, they were chanting, "LeBron's gonna trade you," and like, yeah.
And then you had Lonzo on Snapchat with that "we ain't
Okay, well,
going."
No,
Yeah,
really?
right after the trade deadline
So-
passed,
so-
like
so
we
each
ain't
young
go
player-
nowhere.
Yeah,
Like that's Lonzo, right? That's perfect.
the big dude that they sent to the Clippers. Did you see his interview?
Zubac.
He go, I thought I was playing really great. I didn't know.
It's business though, bro. It's-
I was surprised by
they
that.
needed that. They needed that.
He was
they
like,
needed that slot.
I thought I was playing really great, but now the Clippers, they like me here, so you know.
They needed that slot.
And you still got the same zip code. homie.
Feelings
You
is
all
hurt.
right.
But see, what my problem is, if they start playing bad, then they're gonna blame the coach.
Well, no, you
Now
got to
you get-
get it.
that's-
Hold on,
and
but
then-
you know, you
What?
got to get it.
What?
Right? And we got basketball people in the building. That's the only way a basketball player can show you to go to hell is don't play.
That's what I'm saying.
So they-
but what he's
it's-
not just the coach, but now he's gonna show the owners and Magic
Yeah,
like,
but
yeah,
in that case, they played their hands way too
Too
tough.
early.
exactly.
He wasn't nothing gonna happen till July.
You gotta do damage control now, yo.
Man,
you got
that's when
emotions and
that's when
feelings.
That's when
People
you
are
write
hurt.
it up as a non-disclosure agreement where nobody can talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
LeBron's friend was the one who slipped the on Twitter,
Man,
right? That
he give
because
away the
LeBron's
whole
friend was the
squad.
one who, and there's no way he does that without LeBron, giving the okay. LeBron thought he was gonna leak it that he wants to move to the Lakers, and that was gonna force the Pelicans' hand. They're like, oh man, we gotta trade him to the Lakers because that's where he wants to go.
Didn't
but
work.
it's like, no, dude, you still have another year left on your contract. They can just not trade you this year, and everyone knows that Boston wants him. So I mean,
Would you play?
Uneducated
Would you
sport.
play?
Play what?
If
I mean, my
Being-
thing is
would you
that
be hurt?
from an athlete standpoint, I'm still trying to get my numbers.
so
You know what I'm saying?
so
I
that
play.
was the whole thing. Was that
So I play because whatever is going on that I don't have control over, if I'm gonna hit the wood, I'm trying to get my rebounds, I'm trying to get my
keep your numbers up.
That's
Yeah.
what supposedly the Pelicans were going to do, was going to shut him down, and then the Players Association is like, well, you can't do that because then he doesn't qualify for All Pro or all these other end of the season accolades like that, and then he gets bonuses off of this. So really, so even though they don't want to, because I mean, obviously, if the worst thing that happens, he gets injured,
And then
like next year is like, who wants to trade for an injured Anthony Davis?
Exactly.
And then the NBA said they couldn't shut him down.
They
right?
couldn't shut him down,
When
yeah.
he's not injured.
So I got a question for you then.
Okay.
How do you feel that they have now that they can pick their own all-star squads for the
Oh, there's no East West now.
Right, well, it's still East.
I mean, yeah, you still get the
but-
All Stars from the East and the West.
Yeah.
But it used to be the fans pick something Ferran would like. You know what I'm saying? The fans pick, and then now LeBron just gonna pick out his five.
And then they added the
six
extra
Like a pickup
players.
game.
And then they trade.
You
Like
got
a pickup
traded.
game.
They
So he
traded
got
players.
Durant. I mean, you seen who he picked? Have you heard who he picked? I mean, my goodness,
I mean, I guess it
it's
creates.
like a video game. You know what I mean?
Well, it makes it more interesting, but I think it's like it's kind of like what would happen if you just let.
But
these
it's like
superstars-
like football. You got the pro game.
Bowl.
That
just
game's
like
whack, though.
East and West.
Yeah.
It's
So
still
whack.
What was
still
the purpose of that
division.
game anyway?
When you go
Nobody
back
wants to play that game. Like
Well-
nobody even plays defense on that game.
But-
Nobody
Yeah.
tackles.
At the end of the day, when you go look at the All-Star game, it doesn't really mean anything. It's not like the MLB, right? So-
Well, no one nobody get hurt. That's the whole
right.
thing.
They're just making it more entertaining.
Yeah.
Like you said, more interactive. This last Sunday, you had all these
Like a
people.
pickup game
Yeah,
almost.
you had all these people looking at this draft for the All-Star. Once again, it's just getting people to tune in, advertising.
Cut and paste
Right.
basketball.
Cut and
You
paste
called
basketball.
And then you get trades. And now they added, the new spot for the veteran All-Star?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade and Dirk got...
How do you feel about that? They, threw an All-Star in there.
Well, I mean, I think you always got to recognize the old goats, man. To some degree, because a lot of if you can't make him a coach or an assistant.
What about
coach,
Vince, though? Did Vince get snubbed then? What about
Well, because probably Vince is still doing. He probably commentating.
Yeah, for real. All right, we got to take this first break. Again, thanks for tuning in to Sports Collective TV. We'll be right back.
AskAlien.com. Media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit us to learn more. AskAlien.com.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu. All right, welcome back to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host, moderator Farron, aka WDC. You want information about sickle cell trait? Go to wdconsct.org. You can find all the information about my story and about why this conversation is so important. How you doing, sir?
Man, good. And yourself?
All right, good. Good to meet you.
All right, and yourself?
All right, so as you can see, we have added a couple more people to the deck. We got Coach Webb from Fremont High School, and we got my man Big Al. What's up, yo?
Man, still recovering from that Super Bowl. We had a great event.
The ribs, you still got the
Well,
ribs?
I mean, the ribs were great. It was
Or was it
weather
the beer?
in
Because the show wasn't
No,
the game. No, you can recover from that.
Man, the event was great, but that was a tough game, so we're still recovering from that.
You okay?
one.
How you feeling, man?
It's just so
I
funny.
had a
This dude
lot
is
of
from
food.
Switzerland. He's just such a Rams
Rams fan, man. Like,
Why not?
you okay though? You ain't going back
It's okay
home. You ain't
now.
going back home to Switzerland.
Man, they've been showing
How's
the
that
Patriot
happen?
highlights for the last 2 weeks.
How do you feel when you see those clips?
I would just imagine him like with a set of golf clubs or something, like have a favorite golfer, but
With a drop top?
he just really adopted the
it's-
Lakers and the Rams.
It's
Proud
too
of you,
cold.
bro.
It's
I'm
too
proud of
it's
you.
too cold to
I'm
golf.
proud of you.
We got snow. They don't really play golf over there.
All right, so we got Coach Webb here from Fremont High School.
Yep.
Introduce yourself, man.
Again, I'm Coach Webb. I actually coach over at Fremont High School. Alumni from Fremont.
No kidding.
Coached a couple sports there, but it just came back to boys basketball. And
All right.
right now, we're kind of on the road right now.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So let's
Yeah.
go back in the past a little bit. Who was Coach Webb growing up, man?
Grew up in the community from Watts. Played in that area. Grew up. Went back. That was my main thing. After went to college, left, came back, and then wanted to really stay in my community. So
Don't go too far ahead. You're going too far ahead. So you played basketball.
okay,
As a young guy,
yeah.
what was the sports as a kid in the neighborhood of Watts?
Playing ball, street ball, a lot of playground basketball.
What year is this now?
I graduated in '97.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel old.
Yeah, man.
Gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hooping, played football, basketball, swam, did some track.
No kidding.
Just love sports. Grew up in a sports background. So that
What was
really-
that? What was the background? Father, parents,
Yeah,
uncles?
parents. Both father hoop, grandfather hoop.
Yeah.
So I came from a family.
Grandfather.
Everybody was hooping.
Hey, check it out, bro. I got a crazy story talking
Uncle
about hoop
Drew.
and my grandfather. basketball kept my grandfather from going to Vietnam.
What?
So he hooped. He was from Louisiana, Minden. He hooped at Grambling. He had game, jumper. His drill sergeant on the base was a basketball head.
No.
He put together a basketball team. So he was like, he gave my grandfather orders from the commander. If you have anything to do with basketball, Private Webb is excused.
No way.
So for him leaving, since he had this team, he didn't have to go. So he would play the other bases.
No.
So basketball saved my grandfather.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Basketball saves lives. Right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Basketball is life.
And I'm a veteran too, man. So I understand that.
man,
I
for
understand
real.
how that plays out. Because people don't understand, not everybody goes overseas and to fight war. We all have a place. We all have a role. You may be the ones that's training these soldiers that's going overseas. So you might be playing basketball in another base somewhere.
Basketball's life. Hoop is
overseas.
life, man.
Overseas.
Yeah.
So basketball, high school, like what was the one you chose?
I went to Fremont just through the nature. All my cousins went there, so my family felt real comfortable sending me there because they had somebody to look after me playing there. So being there, they was on me tough. So played, went all city 3 sports, and then just took it to college.
And so what was your college transition like? I mean, did you have letters coming through the mail, or
nah, man.
Did you have a program like?
You know what? I learned my lesson early, bro. Taking care of school business early. You know, not just thinking you're an athlete. You got to be a student athlete, and you got to have both sides of it. And I've seen it. So when you don't take care of business, your options are a lot less versus like your grades, taking care of SATs, especially for our
college preparation.
Yeah, college prep. Even for our 9th graders, they need to be in there.
7th grade.
Okay, we can even take it there. Yeah. They need to be prepared so they can be ready if they are top athlete to take care of those.
Did your family know about this, or did you just had to sort it out when you got there?
Kind of sort it out. You know, my grandfather was there. You know, pops. My pops was around, but he wasn't always that basketball figure. He was the man there, but so me trying to figure it out, I was kind of on my own.
Yeah.
And I left it to coaches. Have some pretty good coaches to kind of help me follow through that. Shout out to Coach Sullivan, Hall of Fame coach that was over there. He just retired about 4 years now from Fremont. So he kind of helped that process.
Okay.
So that's really big.
So you're fortunate to go to college, and what did that career turn out?
It was good. I really took the college experience.
What was her name?
You ain't got to answer that.
No.
You ain't got to go that far back. No.
College was good.
Hey, don't change the direction of my conversation.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
Meaning, I got a chance to travel.
Thank you.
I got a chance to travel around.
Travel.
It was food.
I really used basketball as that vehicle, man.
Yeah.
Basketball really was that vehicle for me to travel, meet some good people, build some good relationships, network. And, I took that opportunity. I went to Louisiana my first year. Again, with the grades, I wasn't able to take care of that first opportunity to go take a scholarship.
Yeah.
So I tried to walk on at Southern. What I figured out, like, for real.
Plank Road.
Yeah. So you couldn't, if you really wasn't their guy, they wasn't looking for.
Anyway.
No, I don't care if you're from California. I don't care what you
Because
did.
they can recruit in their own state.
Exactly.
Or they can bring somebody from Florida and Memphis. Got to remember where they're located. So, like, Florida was always known to not have to worry about getting a kid
Oh, yeah.
all the
Homegrown.
way somewhere else because they don't have no family. They going to go back
Right.
home. We could just recruit right in our backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How did you get in the military?
when I went to school, my grandparents was like, "I'll pay for school," but me, I was like, "Man, I'm an adult now. I'm getting grown. I'll try to do it for myself." So then I took the opportunity to go enlist in the military to pay for college myself. So that's when I was Louisiana National Guard. I was
no
there.
kidding.
Yeah. So I did my term there and came back to California. I decided, man, I love sports. Like,
Yeah.
it was cool, helped me pay for school, but I really want to play ball. So went back to community college, reset it. Went to West LA, did my thing, football, basketball, and then now I started getting opportunities. So then I ended up going to Grand Canyon. And Grand Canyon is beautiful right now, man.
There, come on, man.
So,
Yeah, man.
so what
I
is?
got a lot of Phoenix background.
We got a
love
segment.
Phoenix.
We got a segment called "Chasing the Hoop Dream." So what was you chasing?
Oh,
Man.
I was chasing my hoop. I love ball, man. Like,
I mean, what was that level? NBA or just playing? Period.
you know what? Of course, it was NBA overseas. You know,
Either way, either one was good.
Either way was good. I got to play the game that I love to play. You know, and then again, things changed. Again, you know, you got to go to a program where it really fits you. You know, whether it's wherever it's at, you got to go where they looking after you. You know, don't go chase anything else. But you know, because when you go there again, it becomes a business, and you want to make sure you're in the best position possible. So there, the head coach didn't recruit me. The assistant coach did. So once the assistant coach wasn't around, it was kind of like, yeah, you cool, but I didn't. You know, he wasn't my guy
anyway. Yeah.
Again, so now here we go with the reset again. So
you end up back at Fremont, assistant coaching.
Yep.
Is that safe to say?
Yep.
Where you guys at today?
Oh, hey, we back on top, baby. We back on top. So right now, we got some good guys right now, man. Chris Page, Chris Bradford, they leading the pack right now. Both, he's nice. Yes. Yeah. Both of those are D1 athletes. You know what I mean? As long as they keep their head on straight, do what they're supposed to do, it's no, sky's the limit for those two. Yeah. And the camaraderie that they coming right now, it's a whole different vibe in the gym right now. They are actually playing. Those guys are playing for each other. And like I said, me being the assistant coach, Danny has really put together something for them guys to go out there and play. And you've seen it on the floor right now. Yeah.
And you've coached younger?
We also have a younger division, developmental. Shout out City Ballers basketball. They actually have the #1 middle school program on the West Coast.
What?
Yeah, Mikey Williams, #1 player in the country, play for us. So we started them off young because you got to get them that fundamentals,
right?
Because it's that's a whole different.
Yeah, that's a whole new chapter. To
I mean, just organically, just gathering your story. We talk about vocational learning. He did that. You know what I'm saying? You talk about, your infrastructure maybe at home was a little different because the first thing you said was grandfather. So, and it was a man, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you was instilled things. When you said, hey, well, no, I could pay for this myself. You showed that level of independence. You bumped your head, regardless what the story was, but you found a way to pick your own self up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you as a unique individual to coach kids or mentor kids have this really, really great story about the fall, the pickups, and being self-sufficient about it. See, the thing is that most athletes and student athletes, it's all about accountability.
Got to.
And you got to fill out your NCAA.org, and it's things you just have to do. Yeah. Basic stuff. Like, I like to. I guess my question is that with all this D1 talent that you see, and we know based on grades, based on social economics, everyone don't get that opportunity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What are the transitions is Fremont doing for those student athletes in regards to if it's military, if it's D3, D2, JUCO, you know what I'm saying? Okay. You might not even have the maturity to go D1. You may not have never even been nowhere to travel to go D1.
Are you going to let them answer the question?
Yeah.
You going to let them answer the question? That was a long-ass question.
Hey, you want to go outside?
Hey, remember, I
want to go outside because I know it's hard for me, bro. That's military.
Right in front of the studio. Round one.
I'm dealing with Ferran. Like, what? You want to go outside?
Leave me alone.
Well, anyway, I just like to see
his passion
what
coming out. His passion
or what you guys are doing. I mean, because it's not like something
he's trying to answer the question.
Let me finish, man.
Let him answer the question.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's go. The new culture of the basketball, I'm just speaking for us, what we're doing. Because as far as the school, a lot of new programs are coming on for those seniors upcoming through the program. But for us, we want to do a little extra. We're starting with our 9th graders right now as they come in to get them ready for college. So preparing them during the summer, enroll in college classes. Start putting your information letters out already to these colleges. Stay on top of their grades.
Community service. So they have to have community service.
There you go.
Right. So after all these different pieces, they have to have character letter, 2 characters letter, one from the principal on the letterhead.
Yeah.
All these, then they can go to CapEx or FastWeb and they can pick their top 20 schools.
You said they can get free trips to the school too, right?
Well, basically, it's not a free trip. It's more or less that you get once you get NCAA.org, you basically are eligible to go to 4 universities as a tour.
Oh, tour.
So they don't pay for it. Your family or however, or if you got a good coach or they like you as a talent, then they'll give you a dormitory for the night or the weekend. Yeah. And then you'll get a chaperone and kind of, see if this is a college that you're interested in. Now, we see that here at UCLA, USC. Yeah. But a lot of people don't know that once you go through that process,
right,
So, you know, I like to see them starting this stuff out at 7th grade because it's basketball at AAU and these kids are starting off a lot younger and these colleges are recruiting.
I was
kids
just about to touch on that. Me doing AAU ball, it was crazy. At one of our tournaments in, I believe it was in Vegas, we did a Vegas tournament. We had college coaches in middle school games. There, you see Kentucky, you know what I mean? All these coaches at middle school. So
tapping you while you coaching.
Yeah. Hey,
what's his name?
Yeah.
Who is his parents?
Yeah. Where they at? And it's
real talk.
And that's when we was talking about the training. Like we have kids training in elementary school, got personal trainers.
Yeah.
And that's why you love Phoenix. And he's probably tell you why I stayed in Phoenix for so long. The 9 years I was in Phoenix was basketball 24/7.
24/7.
7 days a week, all day, all night.
Yeah.
So I got to take a quick break. We're going to bring you back because I got a couple more questions for you.
Let's do it.
Not like his, though. All right. We'll be right back. Sports Collective TV.
AskElia.com. Media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit us to learn more. AskElia.com.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctt-ggg@usuhs.edu. I needed that. Welcome back to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host, moderator.
I got a question.
Ron, aka WDC.
I got a question.
Yeah, so we're going to turn his mic off. All right, Coach.
I got a question.
Coach Webb.
Yeah, man.
So I'm an advocate for sickle cell trait. Spent 24 years in the military, collapsed from trait exertion. What is your knowledge or any information you know about sickle cell trait as far as athletes having complications?
You know what? That's a new one to me. So should love to be enlightened because that's something, health awareness, health around. We just need to be, just coming from our community and where we're at, we definitely need a lot more knowledge and understanding of a lot of those things because a lot of our kids have it.
Yeah.
A lot of the parents and don't understand it.
Yeah.
And some of those things that kids have and they don't even know what it is or just being able to go to the doctor, a lot of those families don't even go. Healthcare is the craziest thing right now.
And it's important because the NCAA made it mandatory for all student athletes to have a sickle cell trait test done or sign a waiver because of the previous athletes have died on those campuses. So now they're reinforcing it.
African American kids
and percentage.
Black
because we are number one because if we're number one because it fights malaria. So in parts of that part of the country where malaria is present, we're number one. So that's why African Americans are present. But Hispanics are number two, Caucasian, Mediterranean, European, so it's no longer a color. So I advocate and teach you can't even go by skin color anymore because we're all blended. So you have Hispanics kids with sickle cell trait that are having complications, so it's not just, black. So it's very important. What you got?
How is that in community college ball? Do you guys have certain preparations or where you test if somebody would have a certain trait
or carrying
a disease?
Physical.
No, it's all physical.
Okay. So
they have to be aware of it.
So when they draw their blood and do all that, and
they do physical. They give them paperwork. Like high school, they give them paperwork to play sports. But if it's not written on that paperwork for them to have the trade test done,
you haven't dealt with a certain player specifically that has been dealing with something similar throughout his balling career.
You know what? The This wood?
Yeah.
I think so.
I haven't had any health issues. You know, this is 12 years of coaching, both high school, middle school, elementary. Any health issues with any
But
of
you
my
see
kids.
some missing teeth and broken ankles and all the other stuff.
Some nice sprains, you know what I mean?
Some
Finger
playoff
broken.
basketball
Yeah,
stuff.
but nothing too.
I seen the teeth go through the.
All right, so we're going to take this quick break because I'm going to bring up Mother Fitness because I want you to stay here. Big Al, you're going to swap out. This is Sports Collective TV. We'll be right back.
All right.
Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu. Bring us back. Welcome back to Sports Collective TV. So, as you can see, we still got Coach Webb here from Fremont High School. And when's your next game?
We actually play tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, King Drew is second round of playoffs. Come see Fremont get that dub.
Oh, going for the W's.
Yeah, man.
But before you let him go and bring in Mama Sweet,
What you got?
who you got in March Madness, man? I mean, what you see in the March Madness? Because, and before I ask that question, is that we all see March Madness change every year. They went to the three-point line a year and a half ago. Now they playing the inside game. Bigger kids going to the rack. It's like like the kid from Duke.
It's hard.
It's a whole different dynamic. I always watch NCAA because you do college, you high school versus AAU. Who do they have to watch? And who coaches they watch? It's all NCAA. So that's the next step. You can't watch NBA thinking,
You're
right.
gonna skip the
Right.
You know what? It's kind of obvious to me. Duke is killing right now,
That
bro.
kid.
Zion, who's gonna stop Zion? And I'm even thinking the next step. He going to the league. He just as big as anybody, just as athletic, and he bringing all that mass to you at the rim.
And he dunking, here's the rim. He way like this, and he putting in 30. I mean, 30. It used to be the score was 30 to 48. He bringing in 30.
Hey, not only that, within the the second half of the season, I don't know where he found a jumper. He didn't found his little mid-range jumper. He was stepping out 3 points.
Really?
He did a step back, and that went viral. Like, you know what I mean? So he ranging
All
his
around,
game.
huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be scary. I like that kid.
Just no scandals, man. No scandals.
Yeah,
Let the kid
man.
go.
Yeah.
Do his thing. But
So,
anyway.
what more to have a conversation about fitness than to have Mother Fitness here? How you doing?
I'm fine. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Well, I guess I have to say happy 2019 because it would be wrong to say happy New Year's at this point.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I kind of want to see how everybody. Well, let me ask you guys this: did anybody make any New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
I gave them up.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, what was your New Year's resolution?
Lose weight.
Now, that is very interesting because that is the number one
Right?
resolution that everybody makes.
Out of all the resolutions you can have, not go to Japan or Hawaii.
No, travel is on the list.
Travel's okay.
I would say out of the top 10 resolutions, travel hovers around
5, 6,
8, 9.
Oh, 8, 9?
Yeah. Finances would be the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because everybody wants
get
to
that
make
money.
more money.
Tax season.
So let's talk about number one, right? So you say number
Yeah,
one
number
would be
one.
fitness,
And,
losing weight.
Weight loss. making better gains, putting more muscle mass on, whatever speaks to you, whatever
that
is.
fitness is, right?
Okay, so now how many days are we into the new year? So what is today's date? We're
February
11.
11.
Okay, so that pretty
About
much
40,
makes us about
41,
41 days
yeah,
in.
41, 42
45, just
days.
to
Yeah, I like to round it off too. So let's just say 45. What would you say the percentages at this point that people keep their resolutions?
Ooh,
98%.
98%.
Fell off.
There you go.
Yeah, I said
He's
2%.
very right. He's
It's
much
hard.
right about that because
hard.
usually by February, it's gone out the window for most people.
Yeah.
So they make excuses such as Super Bowl comes into play. If you're trying to do a weight loss situation, then all bets are off by the time Super Bowl,
Well,
right?
of course.
Because we
You
wanna
gotta start
drink,
in November.
We want to eat.
Just for that day? You get that day off?
Well, you have a cheat meal,
there
right?
you go.
Right. You
I have a
can
cheat
have a
day.
cheat meal. Yeah, you can have a cheat meal, but then nobody returns after that.
So
Okay, that's Sunday. What about Monday? Monday, the gym was crazy busy.
Yeah, but
in the gym, it was crazy busy. You had like 5 people for machines. It's just crazy. But then when you get to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, by Thursday, it's like, hey, what machine you want to use because it's wide open.
wide open.
So I think that I think what people do is when they make resolutions, because this happens every year notoriously, you have that glass of champagne in your hand and you toast it, I'm going to lose weight. But, a very small percentage of people really can follow through. I think because people make goals too big for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You sit there and you say, okay, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year. Okay, well, whatever you lose, I think you shouldn't put so much on you at one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've
Make
been
small
dealing
goals.
with we've been dealing with that for the last.
It's been, I kind of like, even when I did the resolution, I had to make myself accountable to the calendar. So I was like, 3 days a week, I'm going to do this. Diet, I'm going to do this. So it's not like something that's in your head that you're going to do, even though you do fall off. And that's the hard part.
Right.
It's like now I got to the point where I've lost over 30 pounds. And I feel like I feel guilty if I just eat a cookie or
Well,
a
that's
bag of
because
chips.
you're in the game now.
You know what I'm saying?
You're in a good sport.
And then I realized my
spot.
body reacts
Yeah.
differently to certain foods where like, I can't even really eat that no more. You know what I'm saying? I can't just eat what, I was a junk food junkie. You know what I'm saying? Bag of chips and a soda.
Let me ask this, Mother Fitness. Do you believe that people have a relationship to fitness?
Oh,
Well, I would have to say it just depends on the genre and where you come from. If you're a type of person that has no athletic ability and today I want to, start to work out, it could be obtainable, but this is when the professionals step in. I would recommend that you hire a trainer so you know what you're doing and what you're doing right. Because it's just so many wrongs that I see in gyms, and you cannot say anything to people
Hold on.
about their form and things like
Okay.
that. Because it just kind of makes me want to cringe sometimes.
Right,
when
'cause
I'm
they're
in the
not
gym.
doing it
And I've got
properly.
I be wondering why they be having ambulances in the front of them.
I mean, then it becomes a sexist kind of thing. Oh, you're a woman. What do you know? And,
But I'm talking about going. I'm talking about going deeper. I'm talking about going. I'm talking about going to the point where you losing weight, right? And you could look back in photos and see that, hey, I've dropped 10 or 15 pounds, but then you still got the fat guy complex. What about that? That's so I'm talking about that relationship to fitness. What is that mental?
Okay,
But can I back it up a little
question.
bit?
Okay,
Let it finish. Let me finish, and then I didn't even say no names. You just told on yourself. I didn't give no names.
Okay, well, I've seen that behavior.
Yes.
Okay, and I've seen that behavior, especially from people who have been the fat kid all their life. You know what I mean? And then they become that person that nobody really wanted to talk to, and then they end up becoming that superstar that everybody wants to talk to. Now you in shape, you looking good.
Right.
It changes your whole dynamics, because it's funny how a little bit of weight loss will change you. You know, you
cocky.
Well, not necessarily
Stop
that.
it.
It changes you.
I'm already cocky.
You build
Attitude.
confidence.
What are you talking about? I didn't even say no more names.
You know what? Confidence, we'll say. Okay, you build confidence. You can stand up a little bit taller. You're more into the look of your appearance. You know, people are now complimenting you and telling you how great you look. And, that makes you feel good. And the more you get better, the more you know,
But
you see
what do you
this
do with the
increase.
fat kid inside, though?
But that's a good question because there are a lot of people, going back to what I was saying, you know, you have a lot of people who were overweight all their lives, and then when they become...
But
get
skinny
that
too,
past
though.
them-
But not just overweight, because
Well-
people that skinny still put on weight. If I was 210, you couldn't even talk to me.
See, but I think it's two
telling you.
pieces.
I
I
like, what?
But yeah,
like,
but
what?
see,
Like
but
the
at
whole
the end of the day,
the
if all
confidence.
the gyms burned down,
Confidence.
and you know, and there was nothing but food, you're going to be okay because you're not going to be a hard gainer.
Well, I was military, so
So you got
I know
some kind of
push-ups,
discipline in
sit-ups
your head. You got some discipline.
And
Discipline is everything.
that's the point I'm trying to get at. It's such a mental. The fat boy. I was never a fat boy.
I didn't say he was fat. I
I'm
didn't
just.
say
But I
didn't
didn't
say
even
you
got a
said
chance to
anything.
answer the question
well,
that
you,
he asked
you
me.
had a lot of time to, so we'll get back to you. But look, I really want her to touch on the fact that it's such a big mental game.
Oh,
when
it
I
is.
when I went into the gym, so go back to the gym.
Okay.
When I went in the gym, I actually hired a trainer.
Okay.
And me being an ex-athlete, I went in with a cocky attitude.
Of course.
After working out for like 6 months, and he's like, "You been on these machines for 6 months?" Yeah. I just need to work on my core. He said, "Give me 400 jumping jacks. Give me 100 sit-ups, push-ups.
Yeah, no
just
cardio,
basic
coach.
calisthenics."
No cardio,
I was
coach.
like,
All specific.
Yeah.
No cardio.
even though,
Yeah.
even though because I'm an athlete, whatever he's telling me, I'm gonna do. That shit was the hardest thing I ever done in my life. I could have went to the military. So it's the mental. It was another guy in the gym says, "Look, when you start doing this." Because as you see the guys on Instagram, or
Come on,
whatever,
that's already
they
pre-made.
lifestyle. They've been doing
That's-
this
yeah, that's-
for a long time.
Can't you
So
answer the question?
there's a
Another question?
two-part. There's a one part of when you see that picture of the people that lived a lifestyle for 10 years. Then you got the fat boy that's like looking at that going, every little inch counts because you're just trying to figure out, man, when is that end
She's
result?
gonna tell you right now.
There we go.
Well, you know what? I personally would want to tap into
I'ma quit
helping
this
the
place.
fat boy because you know why? Because he's the one who needs more help than someone who's already disciplined. Because the one that's disciplined is going to get it because he already knows what he needs to do and he already knows what's best for his body. But it's the ones that look at the pictures who silently need help but don't know how to go about it, and they have stop fails.
So let me ask.
Because you need to be motivation and accountability is everything. You need to be accountable first and foremost. Take small hurdles.
Coach, basketball court, football field. You got a fat kid. What are you telling them?
Run.
Yeah, well, that's
Run.
always the solution. That's what every
Run.
coach will say
Nah.
is to run, and you're just gonna have
Well,
to make them.
It's a basketball
But a
game.
lot
You
of them
gotta
can't
Yeah.
run because you're outwinded.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Oh, my heart is coming out my chest. And sometimes that could be a lot for a kid who has not worked out.
course.
So you're going to have to do like a walk, run, build them up. It's different ways, basic calisthenics.
you gotta get that cardio.
You don't,
Cardio,
cardio
you
is everything, and that's what's going to drop that weight off super fast. And also what? Eating correctly.
And how in the hell did you do that?
Well,
Luwak, how do you eat correctly?
okay, so back to that. So I'm going to
There's no correct way. Everything I grab is wrong.
Okay, well, wait
Alright.
a minute.
Everything.
Here's your time to shine because
There's some tea.
I'm
It's
going to throw
wrong.
the ball back into your court.
Let's go.
Now, you lost 30 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know it was a struggle. So now you sat there and said, oh, now it's hard for me to eat anything because now I don't crave it. My body has, lost.
There's more bass in my voice when I said that.
No, it wasn't. It was all high.
So let's say this. What did you do that you found worked for you? What kept you on your grind?
I think it's like now,
Having
just
a
a
designated
series
cheat day.
of doing different things every 30 days.
Okay.
So for me, it was like no red meat, 60 days. Okay. Chicken, 30 days. Salads, 30 days. So I was always on the 30-day window, fasting.
So you kept
detoxing.
flipping it.
So I kept flipping it because, you always have that, you do want a steak. Can I eat a hamburger? How you gonna feel about it? Do you just go work it out?
Did she ever answer the mental health question?
Mental health? I got a lot of
Did you
problems.
answer?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, because he's over here-
It's always back on his grind. But we'll come back to that because I kind of really want to see because he has a question.
He's got a relationship to his fitness that's.
I'm
not
just saying.
working.
I've been trying. Like I said,
all
when I went to
mental.
the gym and he said, "You've been doing this for 6 months and you really only got here." You know what I'm saying? Then once I took on his program, I got a little further.
Okay.
Right. So then I just started saying, well, what else?
So was
I
it a
could do
high
to get-
carb? Was it like a high protein, low carb you were doing, or was it? I mean, what
Sorry.
was your parameters? Macros versus micros, that kind of thing.
His
What were
diet.
you doing?
Tell him, say something. Say something.
My diet was
Say it with your chest.
My diet was very simple. My
Say-
diet
say it
would
with
be
your chest.
Portion control.
a fruit smoothie,
Okay.
fruit smoothie with some sort of greens.
Okay, that's where okay.
So,
all right, that
and
was your
with-
breakfast,
with
your start.
with protein, vegan protein.
Okay,
added.
so you used a plant-based protein, which was great.
Yeah,
okay.
vegan protein added,
Okay.
and then maybe a salad lunch type of scenario. So it's more fruits and vegetables, and then
Okay.
a solid meal at the end of the day.
I ain't never seen that one.
Okay. So you've never seen him.
He live in Fontana. It's hard to see in Inglewood. He gonna need his glasses to see what I'm eating. If
I ain't never
he
seen
live
that
in
one.
Fontana, I live in Inglewood. He don't.
I did see a shake though.
Okay, you did see
I
a
did see
shake.
a shake.
Okay, in like 60 days. Okay. But obviously, that's another point. You got to do what works for you and what you can stick to. Because it is about, discipline. Discipline is the first thing. Just if you fail, don't just throw everything out the window because sometimes it's very hard to start.
Yeah.
So today,
So if you eat it, just
like today, if
back.
I started out good, but then I broke down and had burgers and fries. Okay, you had burgers and fries. Don't beat yourself up about it. The next day, you get back on.
Okay.
You start
Okay, well,
again.
let me ask you that. Hold on, I got a question. Relax. So, look. So, how does that work? So, they say workout or activity 3 days a week, minimum.
Minimum, right?
30 to 40 minutes.
You know what?
Okay, there we go.
There are. If you can do statistics now, say at least if you can get 30 minutes in, you're doing something.
3 days a week.
Okay.
I strongly disagree
Hold on,
with that.
hold on.
More
because
days.
Hold
I
on.
would say
So
more.
so I'm gonna, before you go to the next one, what you said was don't beat yourself up.
Exactly.
Okay, so what kind of person doesn't beat himself up?
What kind of person
Doesn't beat himself up.
Well, someone that's really trying to do the right thing and trying to discipline themselves and eating different. I mean, because especially with women are more notorious for it because they'll get up and they really do want to try, but something without socialness or your work or something, you have to prepare. What they say, proper planning prevents poor performance. Isn't that correct? Okay, so you have to plan in order to not fail. So sometimes you have to if you're going to be busy, that you have meetings, that you have a socialness about you, you need to set up your meals accordingly. That's why I always recommend food prepping. Food prepping is will keep you out of trouble, whether you want to realize it or not.
So much
because
like
you're doing proper. No, it's not. It's about. I recommend usually when you meal
What
prepping
you
on a
cook the
Sunday.
food the day before.
Yeah, let's say Sunday.
And then you
Sunday's
gotta
always
heat
a
it
good
up.
day to meal prep.
Who wants
You
a
cook enough.
microwave?
You cook for 3 days.
3 days.
Yes,
My-
because chicken breast will last. Fish is a whole nother story. Give that
hard
2
to
days.
Go ahead, Mr.
No,
Phil.
I'm-
She talking. She
turkey,
talking.
Yeah,
turkey, ground turkey. See,
Because-
that's another thing. Making your food colorful, making it interesting,
Yeah,
learning how to prepare your meals where it's attractive.
But how
Don't
is that
look at
going
it
to
as
make?
a diet?
But how
Look
is
at it
that
as a
going to make?
lifestyle
How is that going to make a
change.
difference? Preparing all that stuff if I haven't dealt with my inner self of being okay.
Your inner fat boy, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
How if?
Well,
So my
I think
thing
what
is
you need to do is surround yourself around like-minded people who are going through a journey such as yourself. And then there's a support group. Some people need it to the point where they need to go to support groups.
because if I have a relationship with myself as a fat kid or a skinny kid or whatever, and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you got to meal prep. Oh yeah, by the way, you got to set your schedule. Man, forget it. I'm watching TV with a burger.
No,
Just-
because
I'm just
but
saying-
then you're not trying to help yourself.
Right. So
You
I'm
know what
saying,
I mean? That you're not trying to help yourself. It becomes a pity party at that point. Woe is me, I can't do it. Yes, you can, because there's been a lot of people who were you. And I think
that's
that
mental.
person needs to try to, the way social media is now, there's going to be somebody like you that you can go with that journey with. That's the beauty of social media sometimes. Sometimes. Social media can be good and it can also be bad. But in this particular case, that's why I feel that a lot of people are a little bit more successful now with trying to do fitness more and eating better.
but don't you got to just accept your frame first?
You got you know what you have to that's you know what that's a good point because you have to learn to love yourself
first as you
Wait.
Yes,
That's
that
a play
is.
on word. Love yourself and accept yourself. It's two different things.
Wait a minute. You got to learn to deal with the frame that was dealt to you. So there's no sense
Was it
of
dealt to you?
looking.
I mean, if
you
your
were born with it. It was dealt to you.
if your pockets is touching in the back, your pockets touching. More Pilates, brother.
But
More
no.
Pilates.
So this is what genetics, DNA. This is where it goes to. Okay.
Everybody's not going to your
Right.
DNA might not be
Exactly.
the body.
You might have a front butt forever.
You find a person who has a body type like yourself.
You might just have
and
a
you
front
build
butt
on
forever.
it because you can't say, "Hey, you can't say to yourself, well, I want to look like Ronnie Coleman
Well,
one
of course
day."
not.
Okay, because you don't have the same.
I have
frame.
no idea what he does.
I just want to look
Okay.
like. I just want to look like.
Mr.
I want to
Olympia.
look like Butch Dennis. I want to look like Butch Dennis when he get his age.
I just don't want to breathe
Okay,
hard by
right.
the time I
Because
shoot.
Butch is quite
He don't
quite
want
the
to.
guy.
He need more cardio.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my goal.
Yeah. See.
He said a
Okay,
car
so
and a
cardio.
to go.
He said
to go.
cardio. Okay,
Not car
so-
to go. A car.
Funny that you said
And you want
this
a
because
meal
I
to
was
go.
listening to the things you said. So with you being a coach, are you out there with them doing it?
That's what changed this year.
Okay,
when
because
I said-
sometimes it's hard to be a coach
Nah.
and watch the other kids doing it and not being involved.
I can't sit there and just. I've never been that coach to just sit back and. So I'm interactive with the kids.
He's
and
a
that's
veteran,
really,
too? He
that's
can't
really
just sit
what
back
helped
and
me
watch.
this year. Like we practice throughout the week with the younger kids, and then we got a high school kid. So during practice, I'm out there with them.
3-point line to 3-point line.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you know.
Okay.
Stop and pop. You know what I mean? Y'all go down there. But that's my cardio. You know what I mean?
Okay, good.
And that is really just, and it ain't a
makes a
lot,
difference.
but just being
It makes a difference,
consistency.
right.
That's the most thing out
Yeah.
of everything is your consistency.
Consistency. So all I would see that you might want to tweak is probably the food.
That's hard.
Damn.
Because you're going to lean out dealing with the kids. You are. It's a given. But the change of your food will make a big difference for you.
The food prep.
Okay.
You tucked up all the time for it, yo.
No. Oh,
She could
wow.
come on right now.
Yes.
Just
Come on up, fellas.
Come on.
Come on up.
Let her come on right now.
Come on.
All right. Desi,
About the whole
come on.
new nutritional thing.
Yeah, what you got? Real quick.
From what I've
Hold on.
learned, or from what I've
can't even
heard,
get my feet on this.
metabolism, one of the most important
Exactly.
parts of
Metabolism
losing
is
weight.
huge.
Some people are
Habit.
blessed to have a good metabolism,
Uh-huh.
and some people aren't as much. So if you don't have a great metabolism, from what I understand, is you want to eat foods that aid your digestion the most, and eating in manners that aid that, like late night eating.
That's a
Your body
no-no.
digest.
You know, my
Eat
thing
your
is that
biggest
if you're
meal
going
at
to
the
do late
beginning of the
night
day
eating
or
is what
something.
you choose to eat at late night.
That-
now, if
that
you're going to
too,
sit
of
up there and have, cucumbers and crunching on fruit, but it has to be a low glycemic fruit.
Right.
Because, again, if sugar's not burned, it's going to turn into a fat
Definitely.
source.
But you want to help your body burn
Exactly.
what
you
you
want to
just
keep
say.
your
So you
metabolism
want to
up.
kind of
so
plan
it'll stay
out that
burning
meal.
because when you're sleeping, that's
not
when your
burning.
body is going to the
Skinny
greatest
and
work.
athletic people are always smart.
What's your fitness, man? I know I see you on some shakes and stuff.
Oh, I do like green juice. I do a juice in the morning that's
Okay.
pineapple.
Oh, yeah, and spinach and kale.
No, pineapple, lime,
Okay.
Turmeric, and ginger. And that's
Oh, that's nice.
and that's
Okay.
the morning. That's every morning. Every
Little
morning.
shot of vodka.
And then for lunch I have a ginger, kale, spinach, cucumber, green apple.
But no
celery.
food in between?
Huh?
Any-
Oh no, just nuts. I have nuts that I make.
Okay, so are you a vegetarian or a
No,
vegan
oh
or
no, that's
something?
no. Then
So where's the protein at?
Oh, I ate chicken or steak for dinner.
Well, why don't you try putting some protein in your smoothies, the ones that you're doing in the morning?
I mean, it's worked
Chunks
for me.
of chicken
It's
in
funny because
there.
you said that whatever works for you, and I've tried
Yeah.
I tried the shakes, and it didn't really work for me.
What about-
So it's usually just fruits in the and to get me through, like, and nuts, like for some little energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't really. Do,
I just
as
don't
much.
want you to lose your muscle in all
What
of
about
that.
you, X's and O's?
Well, my question is around stress. So it's how does stress affect, let's say, for instance, weight loss, right? Because I've seen people that will train, and they don't see the effects. Because
Okay. Usually, most of the time, I've seen with stress, people are the opposite. They gain weight from stress. What's causing the stress is what you need to tap into and
trying to
address.
tell y'all mental health, but y'all ain't trying to
Are you
hear
not getting
me.
proper rest?
Y'all ain't
Rest
trying to
is
hear
important
me.
for your body to also do what you needed to do, because you can be out there working out, you cannot get proper rest, that'll lead to overtraining, your body will shut down, you won't see any changes. So I think first and foremost, people need to learn how to tap into their stress, find out what's causing the stress before you can spew it out to everything else.
But as a fitness person, when you say that fitness now has a bigger phenomenon,
Oh my
than it
goodness,
is in the
it's
past,
Everybody's a
Wow.
business model.
And the
I know
last-
where that
yeah.
come from, man.
in the
All of a
last
sudden-
10 years, I've seen
Come on, man.
wow.
That's just too much.
It's just out of control.
You're
And
not
everything
really
that you
working out.
see, everything is you see,
It
you
don't
can't
work for
you
everybody.
Of course
can't
not.
believe
Oh,
it.
turn the camera on.
Right. Everybody is everybody's a fitness trainer. Everybody has been in the game for a long time and all of this stuff. So I would say you need to really, kind of
Go
do
to
your
my bio
homework,
and get the band.
check it out, and
Spray on my ads real quick.
I love those
band,
bands,
the
by the way.
the
They're
band,
very
the
effective.
leg bands, all these bands.
Yeah, the booty
The
bands.
shake weight. The shake weight.
That's the old school though.
Hey,
but
go ahead. What you
So
got,
you know
Coach?
what? I'm
Hold
gonna
on,
check. Hold on.
No,
before-
Coach.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, what I was going to say, we was kind of talking about it earlier about what
got
we're
it,
doing, the health side.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually starting some. Erin Bell, she came on the board with us and like really turned the program around on the education side. And they brought in Spark the World. Spark the World is a new program that we're spearheading out of Fremont High School, where we're going year-round training and health awareness for the kids. So
Oh,
academically,
man.
we got the classrooms to help the kids, and it's not just the high school, middle school, and then we got the track, the weight room, the swimming pool, and the basketball gym, where it's training all year round to keep these kids active in the community. So that's another one. Just keeping these
Absolutely.
kids
That's
active
good.
and
That's
get them
good.
off of the sticks.
Drop the mic. That's enough. Mother Fitness, thank you for coming,
Well, thank
being
you.
a part of the
It's
show and
always
talking
good to
about
see you
his
guys.
New Year's resolution. Luwap, man, thank you, man. Luwap,
Of course.
the nose, man.
Of course, you already know.
Big Al.
Yes.
Fredo, everybody out there, shout us out. What's the count? We'll be
Fredo
back
from the Fredo Show.
next Monday.
Woo, peace out.
AskAlia.com. Media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit us to learn more. AskAlia.com.